The thing is, I just don't understand why the Lake District is such a cruel mistress for me. I mean, I've had difficult times here before, but nothing like this. Okay, I'm good. I remember it as clear as anything. It's almost as if it was only a few days ago. I'd left Aysgarth Falls and I thought that everything was fine. I didn't have any issues. I thought, you know, I've got a couple of good shots here, and you know, moving on was the right thing to do. So that's that done anyway. I'm now heading off to the next location, and that location is a place called Parton, which is by Whitehaven, and that is on the west coast, on the west side of the Lake District. And you may be asking yourself, why, Gary, are you driving from the Yorkshire Dales through the Lake District to get to the other side of it? Why don't you stop in the Lake District, do something there, and then go on? Driving through the Yorkshire Dales and, you know, heading into Cumbria, it just made absolute perfect sense for me to drive straight through the Lake District. I mean, who wouldn't, you know, miss out on all of those opportunities to get to a small coastal village on the other side where you had absolutely no idea what was coming. It just made perfect sense to me. And the reason is that at 1:30ish, I think it's about 1:30, it's high tide at Parton, and the shots are to be had around high tide. So if I were to go to the Lake District now, I might be there for, I don't know, did I say when I was going to be there? I can't remember. Well, I'm going to be there for about 12 anyway. It says 12:16, and high tide's around about 1:30, so I should get it coming in and whatever. Anyway, I could go to the Lake District now and I could be there for about, I don't know, 11:30, something like that, somewhere like, I don't know, wherever. But if I do that, then I'd miss out on the tide at Parton, and then I wouldn't have my coastal shot, which is, you know, part of the reason for coming is to try and get lots of different sort of genres of photography in. So I want a seascape, I want a coastal image, and that means going somewhere where there's a bit of coast, and to go there I really want to go there when the tide's right and I can get the waves falling, you know, coming off the rocks. So we're through the Yorkshire Dales now, and we're officially into Cumbria, although it still feels very much like the Yorkshire Dales. But I just wanted to say how just beautiful this part of the world is. You kind of forget when you're, you know, when you don't come here for a while or you haven't been here for a while, just how gorgeous it is. I mean, I've got views now to the Lake District up there, and it's just stunning. But even this area that's you know, I still feels to me like the Yorkshire Dales rather than, you know, sort of Cumbria itself. It's just gorgeous. The roads are fantastic to drive on. They're good fun. You've got all the old, you know, the old derelict buildings, outbuildings and barns and cottages and the dry stone walls, and just gorgeous. And I haven't even got to the Lake District yet, so when I get there, it's just, well, what can I say? I'm going straight through it. I mean, yeah, sure, when I arrived at Parton, it looked odd. I can't lie, it was almost like a town that time had forgotten, and there were some very strange people there, I have to say. But I didn't really see an issue. I thought it was going to be absolutely fine, and I was looking forward to getting some really dramatic coastal photography, the waves crashing, you know, over the rocks, and some really moody, fantastic skies. So this is Parton Beach, and this is the Solway Firth behind me, and it's as flat as a mill pond, to be honest with you. And I think for the shots that I want to get, there needs to be more waves, it needs to be windier. I'm not sure where the rocks are, to be honest with you, but I don't think I'm gonna hang around to find out, because I'm not going to get any shots from here. I mean, how was I to know that it was going to be completely flat, calm and blue skies. How was I to know that? I mean, it's not as if I had the benefit of a weather forecast, or that I'd driven through the Lake District to get there and seen what the weather was like. It's not as if I knew that. I could wander around here for the next hour, and I know I won't get anything because the water's too calm and flat. So what I really was hoping for was those waves washing over the rocks, and there's no waves because there's no wind. So sun's out though. I'll tell you one thing, it's lovely to be by the sea. I haven't been here for ages, I haven't been by the sea properly for ages, but it's a real flying visit. So time to head off to somewhere else, I think. Well, then next, obviously, it made perfect sense to go and find something to eat. I mean, I hadn't eaten for hours. I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from, to be honest with you. So it made perfect sense for me to go and find somewhere to get some healthy sustenance, some good healthy food.
Hello and welcome to Whitehaven McDonald's. Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, can I get a large McSpicy meal, please?
You haven't got any McSpicy on this morning.
Okay, in that case, I stopped off in Whitehaven to have some lunch. Got eyed up by a hungry seagull. Somebody thinks he's going to get some more McDonald's. Think again, Sunny Jim. Think again. Yeah, keep on. Obviously, we've scratched Parton and we're not going there. I do want to do one more location today before I stop, and then do a few more tomorrow. It was while I was there, just refueling, that it came to me that the best place to go would probably be back into the Lake District. I don't know why. Something was telling me, having driven through it and it being the closest, I did consider going back through it to the Yorkshire Dales or even further on, but something nagging was telling me that it would be a good idea possibly to go into the Lake District. So without really any sort of thought or any planning, I decided that the Great Wood would probably be the quietest place, just outside Keswick. Would probably be the quietest place on an August afternoon, with the schools out and a pandemic, so no one's going abroad. I just thought that would be the best place to go, to find somewhere, to get some solitude and some quiet shots. So guess what? I'm in the hotel room. It's just coming up to 5 o'clock, and I've given up. I went to I tried to go to the Great Wood car park. This sat nav took me into right into the middle of Keswick, and then into some retirement home of some sort. So I had to go back out, work out where it was. Worked out where it was. Guess what? It's full, absolutely chock-a-block full. So then I thought, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll head to Yew Tarn, because I was planning on doing Home Fell tomorrow, as it happens. Guess what? Nowhere to park at all. Absolutely rammed, absolutely heaving. So I guess it's my own fault. I guess I should know that this was should have known that this was gonna happen. It's the middle of August. It's still school holidays. There's still going to be loads of people out and about, but it's so difficult to find anywhere to park in the Lake District. So we'll have to see what we do tomorrow. I've got a plan for tomorrow morning. Hopefully all the tourists are going to still be in bed when I go out, but after I've done the early morning shoot, I may have a little look around the Lake District, see if there's anywhere free, and if there isn't, then I may have to change my plans and head back towards the Yorkshire Dales, I think. it was a very desolate, unhappy man who arrived at that hotel room. It took me all of my energy, like literally all of my energy, to get myself back out there into the shop to buy myself something to eat. I didn't really feel like eating at all. I have to say, I was so distraught and down. I ended up buying just a very small Scotch egg and a sandwich and a packet of crisps and 2 bars of chocolate, 2 drinks and another bar of chocolate. But it was, believe me when I say that it didn't go down very well. I struggled with every bite, especially that last king size Kit Kat chunky. I really struggled with it, and it was then after I'd eaten that I made my decision. So I've had a bit of a sleep. It's about 10 to 11. I've been out, picked up something to eat because I didn't bring anything back with me to the hotel, and got some petrol, and I've made a decision. I am not going back into the Lake District tomorrow morning. I was planning on heading to Bleetarn, get up at 4, try and get there for sort of 5:30, sunrise, get some still conditions. But you know what? The Lake District doesn't like me, and more than that, I've got a nagging feeling telling me not to go there tomorrow. Now I don't know whether that's just whatever. I don't know whether that's because I seem to have a bad time there, or because I'm not organised enough, or because of the time of year, because it's still school holidays and it's really busy. But something is saying to me, don't go tomorrow. So instead, I'm going to have a lay-in. I'm going to go back to bed. I'm going to lay in till at least 7, maybe even 8. I'm going to get up, and I think instead of going up, I'm going to go across. You know, and in hindsight, I think I made the right decision. Absolutely, I stand by my decision not going back into the Lake District, because even at 4 o'clock in the morning, I suspect it still would have been very busy. And with those cloud inversions, it's quite difficult to see what's going on. And the sunrises are sometimes so spectacular that you really struggle to know exactly what to photograph. So I think that, especially knowing what I know now, that the conditions were that good, I still believe that I absolutely made the right decision by turning my back on the Lake District and heading towards somewhere where I'd never been, never seen a photo of, and didn't really know anything about. But yeah, wow, this is an impromptu. Does this count as a mountain, by the way? I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. This looks great, really good, I've got to say. Some really interesting sort of mossy rocks on the floor, and lots of, I'm guessing, pine trees.